We're here with Franklin Pierce, head men's basketball coach David Chadbourne. Franklin Pierce getting ready to tip off their 2012-13 season on Friday against LIU Post, so it's going to be a good test for the Ravens. And first off, Coach, we'll talk about a couple topics, but it's always exciting to begin a new season, but to play an opponent like LIU Post, which has traditionally been strong in the region, they've also received honorable mention votes for both of the preseason top 25 polls this year. How much extra juice does that add to an opener for you guys?
Well, it probably makes me more nervous than the guys. You know, they just want to get started. You know, like you said, it's going to be a real good test for us. They have a lot of guys back that are good players, and like you said, they've been real good over the last few years. They're very well coached. You know, it's going to be a good test for us. You know, we're looking forward to playing.
Talk about Eric Jean-Guillaume, not necessarily as a player. I think anybody that's watched this team play last year or even the past couple years knows what his talent level is. But how impressed have you been with his leadership this year? Because this is his final go-around. He's a senior leader, and he's got expectations. He wants to go out on top. Just talk about what he's brought from a leadership standpoint so far.
What I like about Eric, and I've always liked about Eric, but he's grown in this manner. He's very consistent with how he approaches things, and he's not, you know, real high, real low the next day. He's really consistent with how he talks to guys and how he acts with the guys, and I think that's big because they know he has their back, and he's not a yeller screamer. But he's vocal in a positive way, and you know, I think Eric's the type of guy that you'd like to play with. If you're
you guys came out of nowhere last year, picked to finish next to last in the conference, regular season champions, host the East Regional. This year, you guys are now preseason favorites, number 2 in one national poll, number 10 in another. So kind of the bullseye is on your guys' back this year. You guys worked extremely hard last year to prove all the naysayers wrong. How much harder did you guys have to work this off-season in this preseason, because now everybody has Franklin Pierce circled on the schedule? How much did it require you guys to raise your game?
Well, since we know how we finished last year and with the work we put in, we figured we have to work harder just to get past that point that we did last year. And Coach tells us all the time that if we're ranked number 2 in the nation, everybody's going to give us their best game. So every game we have to come out. We can't let the game come to us. We got to go attack them and get after them first because everybody's coming for us.
And speaking of games, Friday night you guys open up with LIU Post in the Southern New Hampshire Tournament. LIU Post receiving votes for both of the preseason national polls this year. They have NCAA tournament experience. So this is a very good test for you guys off the bat. How exciting is it? I know it's always exciting to begin the season, a new season, but how much more juice is added to it when you're going to play a team like LIU Post, who's been one of the top teams in the region year in and year out?
That makes it a great game to start off. Makes the competition a high level, and we're just ready to go after them. I know they're in there practicing ready for us, so we got to see who comes out with more intensity, and it should be us.
A lot of postseason accolades last year for yourself, preseason as well this year with the preseason National Player of the Year. Do you allow yourself to think about, and I guess this is more tailored towards the preseason honor that you got, do you allow yourself to think about that at all, or are you just so focused on what you guys did last year and how you want to build upon that this year? What's your mental makeup when it comes to those awards? Is it nice, or are you kind of still focused on what you want to improve on, what you want to accomplish?
Mostly I'm focused on winning. I know now and then some people bring it up, like congratulations and all that stuff, but if I win it, it would be nice, but I'd rather have a championship than a plaque on my wall without winning anything. So it's in the back of my mind, but it's really far back there, and what's in front of me is the focus to help my teammates get better and get to the point where Franklin Pierce, we can have one of the best seasons in history and have a chance to win a national title. We're already ranked number 2, so
Ellis Cooper, who, you know, some could make the argument could be the NE10 Player of the Year along with Eric.
Easily make that.
Yeah, he brings a tremendous amount of energy. He'll go through a brick wall to save a basketball from going out of bounds, and we've seen him try it a few times in games. When you have a player like that with that much talent who's recognized in the league, but brings an energy level just insatiable to compete and want to win, I guess how much more dynamic is a player like that? You know, how he can help set the tone for working hard in practice.
Yeah, I mean, he's coming off, he had coming off a surgery in June, so it's taken him a little longer to get going and to impact practice like he did all of last year. But you could see when he's feeling like himself, how much different practice is. He just, if you're another guy playing against him or playing with him, you got to hold up your end or you're going to get steamrolled, and it just raises everybody's level. And those guys are rare.
You guys have a lot of depth in the backcourt. I know we talked just a little bit earlier about the depth on the team, but you have a lot of different combinations you could use. Some guys are very skilled at shooting the basketball. Some guys are good at handling the basketball, running the sets. I guess just talk about the backcourt a little bit, and I guess touch on each of the guys and some of the good stuff they've brought so far. Okay, I guess I'll read the names off to you. First, Andre Blackwood.
Yeah, I mean, Andre was a big part of our success last year. And I kind of tie him and Curtis Christian together a little bit because usually last year, I mean, they both were in the rotation. They'll both be in the rotation again this year, and they're both important to us. But it was great because if one of them was off, usually the other one was on. So they balanced us off, and both were huge in games and helped us win games. And I expect them to be even a little bit more so this year. You know what I mean? I expect them, they're both juniors, to step on the floor and not take them a long time to impact the game, and both kind of have the same role. They need to score a bit when they step on the floor. They both are more offensive minded, but they still will be counted on to be good defensively.
Actually 3 newcomers to the fold. Paul Dick isn't a newcomer, but he missed last season and didn't get to play a lot his freshman year because he was battling some injuries. What's Paul Dick like as a player? Because we haven't seen a lot of him.
Yeah, I know. I still think he's working off a little bit of rust from not playing virtually for 2 years, and he can play anywhere from 1 to 3 for us, and will play anywhere from 1 to 3 for us. And I think you could make the argument that he might be our best defender. If we really need to shut a guy down, we may just say, Paul, you got him, and go get him. And I think he's very capable of being a shutdown defender. And I think he's a good glue guy in the sense that he can do a lot of things. Another
guy with some size, some height, Georgios Papapetrou, 6'5", coming, spending some time with the Greek national team. Just talk a little bit about him. He seems to be a guy with some size that maybe a lot of teams in the NE10 don't have somebody with, because he's not just tall. He's about 200 pounds, so he's got some ruggedness to him. Just talk about some of the elements that he brings.
Well, right now he'll be our starting point guard. I think he's a smart basketball player. He knows how to play. He gets people involved. He can run the team. He can look over the top of defenses, like you said. He also is a very good rebounder, makes open shots. He's just solid. He's just a very solid player. Yeah,
and he's a junior too, so it's not like he's necessarily a freshman. He's played against some good competition. And of course, Scotty Tavares-Taylor transferring in from UMass Lowell. I think the interesting thing about him is that he has experience in the NE10, so he knows what this league is about. He's been a pretty good player in this league.
I agree.
And the interesting dynamics that can bring to the team. Just talk about what he's been able to do. And he mentioned yesterday when we spoke with him that he's really felt the guys on the team have really helped acclimate him to the team and have been very welcoming. And just talk about what he can do, bring to the team.
I think you touched on the really important stuff, that he's proven to be a good player in this league. I think, for now he's going to come off the bench and kind of, give us a spark off the bench type thing. An older guy that knows how to play, can make shots and run the team. And I think he's really going to pay off down the road as he gets more used to what we do and how we do it and playing with the guys. And I think he's going to continually get better and grow. And his impact will grow as well.
How much fun is it to be part of this program now with the expectations, but also there's a lot of really good guys on this team, a lot of good leaders. How have you been accepted to the team and just how you've been able to mesh quickly? It seems to be from if somebody's seen practice or just seen some of the pickup games, it seems like everybody is meshing pretty well together. Just talk about how you've been acclimated into the program.
Well, the transition was very easy on my part because of the guys. I mean, they welcomed me with open arms. As soon as I got here, I mean, I knew a couple of players, Eric and Ellis. I knew them before I got here. So, I mean, it was kind of easy for me to switch from UMass Lowell to Franklin Pierce. But, I mean, it has come together fairly well, actually. At first, I thought I would bump heads with certain people because, I mean, they had their role and then I had to come in and earn my role. But, I mean, I owe it to them. They really showed me that there's a spot for me here.
In the front court, he didn't get a lot of attention last year because of what Eric and Ellis were doing, but Damola Abu provided a lot of grit and muscle and tenacity for you down low in that 5 spot. Adrianos steps in this year to kind of be that number 5 guy. Maybe doesn't have the burliness of what Damola had, but he brings a different skill set. You know, an offensive game. I'm sure has worked on his rebounding. Just talk about how Adrianos has benefited, you know, kind of through the off season and getting ready in for this season.
Yeah, I think Adrianos, you know, realized, you know, after the season ended last year that, and something that he and I talked about on several occasions, that, you know, for us to be good this year, he's going to have to be good. He's going to have to be a consistent factor night in, night out. And, you know, we're going to rely on him. He doesn't have to be necessarily an all-league, first-team all-league player. He just has to be a good player night in, night out. And, like you say, offensively, Adrianos is talented. Needs to keep improving defensively and really is a very good rebounder. I think with the minutes, with the opportunity he's going to receive, he will be a very good player.
A couple other players, Matt Barboza, who is a junior, and it looked as the season went on last year, he started to develop his niche, his role on the team, come off the bench, get some rebounds, get a couple baskets. I'm assuming this year more is going to be asked of him, kind of being an upperclassman, but just talk about what he can bring to the team as well.
Well, and I think Matt, and I've said this to him and to the team and to everybody else, is probably had the best fall of anybody we have. So he had that little ankle injury that he's bounced back from, but you know, I think whole thing with Matt is just confidence. You know what I mean? If Matt maintains his confidence and plays the way he's capable, Matt's going to impact us nightly in a positive way.
Coach, he's going to be a sophomore this year, but had a really impressive rookie season. Ryan Vilmon, who will could play a couple positions, but looks like he'll probably be at the 3 spot for you. Just talk about him offensively. He's got a lot of skill. Defensively, rebounding are things that he'll continue to grow into, but just talk about Ryan. Yeah,
I mean, those are all things that we talked about him developing. He stayed up here this summer and lifted and worked out and got stronger. Tried to improve different aspects of his game other than just a catch and shoot. And he's had a very good preseason. I think he led us in scoring all 3 preseason games, scrimmages, and you know, I expect him to take the next step. You know, I mean, he was a consistent factor night in, night out for us last year, and he'll definitely be that again. And if he can take another step forward, and it'll help us really get better.
We talked about a lot of newcomers. Another one to the team. He didn't play last year because of an injury, Ant Lassane. But there again, like some of the newcomers to this year's team, has college basketball experience coming from FIT. What can he bring to this team? A little bit of experience, a little bit of
I mean,
grit.
He's an older guy and he's a tough kid. Makes shots and he plays as close to like an Ellis Cooper type energy. You know, he's one of those high energy guys that, you know, does a lot of little things well. He'll be a guy that'll help us win games.